Now, I cannot predict the future, folks. I can't do it. All I can do is base all of my future decisions off of good intentions, data, and history. And that's the three things I'm going to point out to you today about why you absolutely should not be buying story boosters just yet. Anthony, this is obviously a ploy. You said it numerous times before. You're all in on manga. So it only makes sense that you want story time to plummet, fail. You're telling us to pull out of the market. You obviously have some sort of influence now, Ram. The Ram fan manipulator. And now you're using it for evil. No, that's not the case. The case here today is to help you, because I'm a nice guy, but to help you make the best decision based off some of this data that I have here. 3 links, that's all it took. A couple of minutes to put this together. Let's lock out another 15, 20 minutes and talk about this. Storytime booster. I am excited for this. A little nervous as well. If you're a manga guy like me, you're a little nervous. New kid comes to school, a little bit cooler. His dad's a lawyer. He's got this new fancy car, sunglasses with all these, the whole thing. Got a cool bike. Ding, 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 ding. He's hitting on the girl that you've been trying to get with the last few weeks, months. All of a sudden he walks in and he thinks he's in charge. So when we look at the story booster boxes, this is what I want us to really look at. Scroll down and we look at some history, some data, really is what we want to go into. Now, obviously, from the moment this thing has been pre-released or available, it started to go higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. But when we look at when the right time to buy is, the question here is it now? Is it later? Is it 2 weeks from then? Is it 4 weeks from then? Is it maybe never? The only way we can predict, recommend, tell, or show any sort of new things to come is with some history. So let's go back 2 releases ago. That's 4, but you know what I'm trying to do. 4 releases ago. 2 releases ago. Dual Evolutions. Big set. Arguably one of the biggest. Arguably one of the best. Couple of, you got a couple of 2 stars in there? That's a pretty good set. If I scroll down and I look at the history, you may have already caught it. You may have already seen it. When this was released, you can kind of see a little bit of what you might call a dip. People got a little too excited. Maybe they bought a little higher in the pre-sales. They don't think the value is going to be there. And then a couple of weeks after, you see a dip. All of a sudden, those high 300s, very quickly over just a week, it's down about $100. So I'm going from 380 in my peak down to about 300 and lower. And if I continue to go one more week, now I'm starting to see some mid 200s. And then suddenly, last little bit, just a few weeks after, we're looking at some all-time lows. And then surely it soars. And now it's landing around that 275. So if I had to say, when was the absolute best time to buy, I would make my argument that the best time to buy would be about 2 weeks after the initial launch date. Let's check real quick. Dual Evolution. I can't spell. Release date. I believe it was March, first week of March, the 13th. Perfect. So when we look at the 13th, look at this. The week that it was starting to be released, flooded the market. We have that. So now we got 1 week, knocking on 2 weeks after the release, because a couple people might get a little early. I think I think GameStop releases like 1 week after the release date too. So you're talking about a 12 to 14 day period after the release date, street date. We're flooding the streets where we start to see this dip. It is in that dip where I think Story Booster must be purchased. That is the only time I think you're going to get some of the best prices. Anthony, I can trade for it. Anthony, I go to my local game store. All right, good for you. Good, congratulations. Anthony, I go to the pre-release. I get it even a week before that. Good. Great. Still do it. Still buy it. 7 to 12 days, I think, is your cream of the crop. Because this has just gone straight up north. But just like we just saw with FB09, we're going to take a dip. Anthony, that's one example. One example that you given me, Anthony. Let me go. I think it was just a few weeks. What was CrossForce? June 12th. That's right. The 12th was the street date. The 19th was GameStop. CrossForce right now is sitting at 228. Now, obviously, I am not comparing Dual Evolutions to CrossForce. I'm merely pointing out that after the release, there was a dip. What was the day? 13th, 12th. So in the week of the 12th, in the midst of it, we're talking 262 average. A couple a little bit higher, knocking on 3. A couple a little bit lower, probably right before the surge. But then we look at 7 days, a little bit further. Look, this one's still. We're just starting. I'm going to click off of this. We're starting to come right back out. So these prices here might be some of the lowest. Now look, there's a lot of them available. And this actually isn't a terrible price, being honest. Not outlandish. I think I bought mine on release day for like 200. Yes, 200. A couple of them at 180. So 228. And we're knocking on a month after release. But you know what you're going to start seeing? Someone, somewhere will start buying this and the price will go up. Is it going to shoot up the way Dual Evolutions? No, remember, RamFam's just talking about when to buy story time, and I'm using a little bit of history to tell me when's the absolute best time. I think between 7, 12, maybe pushing 14 days after release, we should see what we've historically seen, which is a dip. Now, RamFam, story time might be the exception to the rule. So that means if it doesn't dip, if it releases and this staggering, let's just call it $600. I guess we can't call it $600. But for our purposes, we're going to call it $600. What if that just continues to shoot up? Okay. What were you going to do anyway? If you're watching this right now, it's plausible. It's likely you had no idea that between 7 to 14 days after a release, you see a dip. Yeah, broadly we know that, right? You got people like Ginger Fusion, shout out to him, great dude. Follow him on Instagram. Who as soon as Cross Forces came out, don't buy anything for 30 days. I think that might be a little long. I think it might be a little long for a set like Story Booster. A set like Cross Force, 30 days. We're knocking on 30 days. We're knocking on it. Who is it? Oh, it's just me. 1 month of Cross Force. Okay, you're still not that great? Got it. Is story time going to be like that? Absolutely not. Story time's got something. And again, I'm a manga guy, but I'm here just sharing the news. Story time is going to be part of a trilogy. Did you just watch The Matrix and never watch the second and third? When you watched Ninja Turtles, did you watch Secret of the Ooze, and then the Time Travel. Did you watch just Rush Hour 1, by the way? It's just called Rush Hour, but I'm just using it as a point. The first Rush Hour? No, you didn't. You got all three. You watched all three. You're doing that with Story Time. Story Time. Story Booster. We're going to change this to Story Time. You're doing that with Story Booster. You're not just buying the first one. We, as a human, as a collector, completionist, I want to finish this. I want to put this together, and I want it to have a complete set. You see, completionist, master setting is a big thing in Pokemon. You typically will see the individuals that are buying manga SPO 1, they're also buying manga SPO 2. You're going to see with this one, and I've already talked about it, all the reasons why people are going to be hyped up about this. It's a specialty set. We're having there's some cool art pieces in there. You're returning me back to Dragon Ball Z. You're returning me back to the movies. You're returning me back to these video games. How did you grow up on this? This is hitting the people that are 30 to 45 years old right now that grew up with this. And I got FU money. It's not going to kill me to just throw $600 at this thing to rip it open if I'm a casual. Might be a little tough if I'm anyone else. But this isn't an outlandish price point, right? It's wild. It's white knuckling it already. And I still fear there's a lot of room to go. This can quickly get out of hand. I'm talking about a 1K, 2K, 3K booster box in 45 days. I see that. So when's the best time to buy? Well, I'll tell you. I think, and as I've told you many times before, I'm going to be one that puts his money where his mouth is. I'm a chef who eats his own cooking. I'm going to be there 7 to about 12 days. It might even be a tighter window than what we see with dual evolutions. This might be coming up in 7 days. And that is pretty scary. It's scary from a collector's point of view, but it's also exciting. You ever jump out of a plane? You ever pull the trigger on a rifle, pistol? You ever engaged in hand-to-hand combat? There's a level of a rush. I'm in jiu-jitsu. I've been doing jiu-jitsu and martial arts since I was 10. I'm knocking on 40. There's something about the thrill of knowing you got another person's life in your hands. That story. There's a thrill to story, and I like it. So that 7 to 12 day window. This is your warning. This is me telling you, you who like this, you who's watching this, you who after however long I've been here talking, are looking at this and saying, maybe Anthony's got something. But that's only 2 examples, Anthony. You're right. Look at the growth that manga has had. We are becoming a little stagnant. We are stabilizing. I still think it's a good long-term growth product. Your investors, I think it's still a great thing to do. But then on the other side of it, I want everyone to rip it open so mine becomes more valuable. Yes, I'm selfish. But Storytime's got some things that even manga doesn't have. And I think that if you want it, I think if you're interested in it, you got only a few opportunities and it's coming up and you're going to miss it. You better build a deck, go to a pre-release, get comfortable with the game, and try to be one of the early ones. Try to be one of the actual TCGs. Is that a TCG stands? Oh, it's a card. Okay, it's a card game. You can play this. There's things that you can do with these cards other than putting it behind plastic and selling it. Yes. So you can go to one of these pre-releases. All your shops, pick up your phone. You don't call your mom back? You should do that and then call the local game shops. Are you doing it? When is it? How do I sign up? $10? Like $10. It's nothing. You're going to spend $600 on this, but you won't spend $10 on that. To get in there, get some packs. Bonkers. Cool couple energy markers. Be the first in the market. So that's one way. Number two, you can be a schmuck and pay these exorbitantly high amounts because it's just going to go higher. It's just going to go higher. Do you really think I'm wrong? And then option 3, 7, 12. Might be tighter. 5 to 9. Quote me. Flip it. Share it. Comment. What do you think? I think, historically speaking, we're going to see a quick dip. It's not going to be a long one like this. That's what she said. It's not going to be a big one like this. That's also what she said. It's going to be something tight. That's what he said. There's going to be a lot of them. This is going to be one, I think, for you long-term gentlemen, ladies out there that are looking for something to hold. This is a good one. Buy it on the dip, pick it up, because after that, I don't think you're going to have that much of an opportunity. And if this thing sells out as quickly as we think it's going to, what do you think is going to happen to number 2? What do you think is going to happen to number 3? If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like, comment your opinion down below. If you want to dictate the market, instead of listening to me manipulate the market, join us on Whatnot. We're live every single Tuesday and Saturday. Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern. We literally dollar start everything. Everything gets dollar started. So if you don't like comps in TCG, you can make your own comps right there with us. So make sure you join us. Follow us on Instagram. I post some cool stuff there from time to time. I appreciate it. Make sure you follow this. And we will see you tomorrow. Every day we're dropping brand new videos. We'll catch you then.